It's a little difficult to understand how big this building is if you see it from street level. The newer building looks like a two-story building, but it's actually got 6 levels in it. It's a split level look, 18,000 square feet in the new building, 6,000 square feet in the old building. It's really one of the biggest available spaces along East Colfax, and it's been an eyesore for a really, really long time. We're hoping to change that. Once we cleaned all the junk out of it, treated the mold, got the carpet out of it, got down to a structure that actually, for not being used for 30 years, looks remarkably good. We got to replace all of the infrastructure, HVAC, electrical, plumbing, anything you can think of. Part of being a follower of Jesus is also not just about loving people, but it's about redeeming space. This space has sat here for 30 years empty, that other space is underutilized. And so our vision is to do things in here that bring together people of every race, creed, color, and belief in one space, and do something that blesses people's lives individually, but also does something that's really beautiful for the city. I grew up watching my mom, with the help of my dad, serve and love the poor. She had a deep love for Jesus, and because of her own pain, she had an incredible love for poor and broken people. And so in our little farmhouse, we had all the kind of people we now serve on East Colfax. Our friends, we call them our flock. I mean, genuinely, lots of mental illness, addiction, prostitution, drug dealing, desperate poverty, people who are just really, really lonely. And that's our real work. This building is exciting because this building becomes a place where we can extend that work by giving them a place, a dignified and beautiful place to come to. We have a real heart for bringing healing to really broken people, using every tool we can find. This building is just an outflow of us loving people, and it will be a place we'll be able to love people even better. You're probably hearing a little noise in the background. We have a crew of volunteers in here today. We're cleaning the space out. We're starting to bring potential donors and foundations into the space. And today we had a bunch of junk sitting around. We have some lattice work on the wall that we needed to pull off, and just a lot of dirt and dust because it's all concrete. So we're trying to vacuum it out today. When we finally pulled the drop ceiling out of it, just incredible, the lattice work arches up there. They do need some repair, obviously, if you take a look at them, but we know what we need to do to repair that because that's going to be restaurant space, event space over there mostly. We want to leave that lattice work exposed. We think it'll be really cool. We'll put a clear seal on it. This building will only have value to the degree it helps our friends, but we believe it can do it, so yeah, we're really excited about it. We really desire prayer support. A lot of our day-to-day ministry is really dangerous. We go to the motels, we knock on doors, we come with a little food, not to solve the food problem, but to build a relationship. And so we have 6, 7 motels that we're in, not only weekly with our team, but my wife and I and a few other people who live in the neighborhood. We're in and out of those places all the time, building relationships. We do what we can to help, drive them to a doctor's appointment, put them in touch with other resources in the community. My goal is that in the next probably 6 to 9 months, we find the money that we can get the old side of the building functional, that we can begin having a gathering space for our friends to hang out. I have another friend who works with special needs kids who has a dream of being in the space. This floor here, we'll do some office space in here for our ministry, and then we'll start moving some ministries into some of the other spaces in here. Our vision continues to be to find a half a dozen ministries who are really invested in serving the poor. So maybe a dental clinic or a medical clinic. Probably a third of this space is going to be given to addiction stuff. It's a place that brings rich and poor together, which is a real value of ours. For me right now, a lot of church is to stand in a circle with a couple, 3 people who might be crack addicts or prostitutes or drug dealers or battling horrific mental illness, is to stand in that space and pray and invite Jesus into that space. I think this building is really just a fabulous chance for a lot of people from the broader metro area to say, wouldn't it be great if a whole bunch of us came together in a way that honored and dignified people who live in poverty?